What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, One Star Weekfoot, and we are back for another Weekend League wrap-up. Good to see you guys again. As you guys know, from looking at the screen or from previous episodes, I used the full Ajax team this Weekend League, and I just wanted to try something new. I wanted to commemorate the good season Ajax had. As you guys know, they did make the semifinals and could have easily made the finals in the Champions League. They had a tremendous year, and as a result, they have a lot of good players on this game, a lot of good past and present and future players on this game. So I decided to make a team, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to get away from the status quo. So I played three at the back. I played the 3-5-2 formation. I'm going to show you right now exactly how they lined up in game. Right over here. So I had Cruyff and Van Basten as my strikers. Promes as my cam. My wide mids were Ziyech and Tagliafico. I had Eriksen over here as a deep line playmaker. I had De Jong as my CDM. And my back three were going to be Davison Sanchez, Alderweireld, and De Ligt. And overall, it was a pretty fun team to use. They had a lot of strong points on this team. This might have been the best all-around team I used out of all the themed squads I've used so far. But of course, it did have some shortcomings. It did have some weaknesses. And with everybody having a mega team in Weekend League as it is, I did get out-teamed more games than I didn't. But once again, it was a fun experience. We're going to talk about the standout players on this team. And let me just show you the stats. Cruyff, I did his SBC this week. I played 19 games in the Weekend League with him. 15 goals, 6 assists. The other star of the show, real quick, was Van Basten. He had almost the same contribution as Cruyff. Both of them were tremendous. They were really instrumental in me winning a lot of close games. I'm going to break down each player's performance. I'm going to let you guys know how I did in the Weekend League. I'm going to let you guys know, was this formation worth it? Were these players worth it? Who should you check out? Who should you not check out? I'm going to jump into the gameplay right now. Let's get it. All right, so let's get into it. Of course, the first two players I'm going to start with here are going to be my two strikers, Cruyff and Van Basten. Were they up to snuff? Were they good enough to be used at a high level in Weekend League? And in my opinion, both of them are very, very good in this game. We're going to start with Cruyff, the main man, the guy I spent so many coins, so many untradables doing his untradeable prime icon moments SBC. How was he in game over the course of a Weekend League? I would say he was tremendous. He was my main playmaker. He was my main finisher. He was the most reliable, real player on this team offensively. I mean, he pretty much did everything. I think his ideal position is the cam position. However, because I didn't have that many subs on this team, I would say I had to play him at striker because he had to last all game. As a striker, he was amazing. I mean, his dribbling, his finishing, his weak foot, everything about him is perfect as an attacker. Is he better than Eusebio though? I can't really say that. I think both of them are at a very similar level. And if you do want to bring one of them into the squad and you're limited in coins, I would go for Eusebio. The next player I'm going to talk about, as you know, is Van Basten. Prime Van Basten. And I've only used prime icon moments Van Basten. I haven't used this prime until this Weekend League, and the stats do speak for themselves. 14 goals, 8 assists over the course of this Weekend League. He was very, very reliable. It did take me a little bit of time to get used to him. He does have a bit of a learning curve to him because he isn't the smoothest on the ball, but he still holds his own dribbling-wise. He isn't the best passer of the ball, but what he does do, he does do very well. I mean, his finishing is A1. One of the best shots I felt on this game. His jumping, his heading accuracy, amazing, and his pace is respectable. If you have a playmaker around him, if you have a bunch of fast players around him, like Cruyff, like Promes, like Ziyech, people who could get him the ball in dangerous positions, all you have to do is press shoot with his card. He's going to do the rest. His finishing is one of the best finishes I felt on this game, and he was able to win me a lot of close games at the end of the Weekend League run when I was struggling, when I was tired, because I didn't tell you guys this at the beginning, but I played 18 games on Sunday just to really get a good gold finish with his team because I ran out of time. I only played 6 games, the first 2 games of the Weekend League, and I finished 14-10, which is not the best record, but it is what it is. You know, it's a new team. I'm trying a new formation, trying a bunch of new players. So 14-10, we're going to take that. We're going to take those gold rewards and hopefully pack a good Team of the Year card. Next, I'm going to talk about my wide players. Tagliafico, 87. Is he worth it at this stage of FIFA? I would say he's very average, all right? He's not going to cost you any games, I would say, but he's not the most meta player, all right? He does get bullied from time to time. He's not quite good enough going into a tackle, not quite good enough physically, not quite good enough in the air if you want to really defend at the highest level. So I would say Tagliafico is not really somebody I would suggest. How was Ziyech? This is my second weekend league using Ziyech. I did use him in the African team as a super sub. Now I'm using him as a starter in the right mid position. And I thought he was very solid. I do think he's better off playing as a CM or a Cam. Actually, no, I would say CM because at Cam I want better than a 2-star weak foot, but he does do a lot of things well. He's very good positionally, has very good passing, very good dribbling, and if you get on his left foot, he's very reliable inside and outside the box. He is a very well-rounded player. I assume his team in the season is going to be very, very good in game, even though nobody really uses him. So I would say the Ziyech card for the money is not a bad value. Next, I'm going to talk about my midfielders, Eriksen and De Jong. How did they play in game? De Jong was solid. Honestly, he was really the rock of this midfield, even though he's not really suited for that. I mean, he does have the strength and the jumping, but he doesn't quite have the height. He doesn't have to quite have the pure physical to be the rock that you want in the midfield. I think somebody like De Jong would do better if you pair him with somebody bigger. Pair him with somebody like a Vieira, like a Ballack, like a Fabinho, and I think he'll really shine. On the ball, he's actually very good. He's very quick. He covers a lot of ground. He's able to pass. He's able to shoot. He's more of a CM, in my opinion, than a CDM. But nonetheless, he was a very, very good midfielder. I would definitely recommend him at his price. Eriksen 91. How was he in game? I would say he's not quite as good as I thought he would be. I mean, earlier in the year, I did use Eriksen not in form. I thought he was a great, great card. At this stage of FIFA, he just doesn't have that special sauce. He's not quite quick enough, not quite good enough on the ball, not clinical enough to really make up for either one of those shortcomings, and he's not quite physical enough either to play at the CDM or the CM position. At the cam position, I'd rather somebody, better on the ball with better pace. So I really find that this card doesn't really have a true great position in him. So I wouldn't really recommend him. However, if you have the team of the season, Eriksen, probably a different story. The final thing we're going to address here is our center backs. Who is worth it? Who is not? First, we're going to talk about Davinson Sanchez, the man, the beast. Everybody was using him at the beginning of FIFA. Is he still good in game? And I would say yes. 91. Davinson Sanchez at about 140K is what I bought him for. I'm guessing he's going for a little bit less now. It's actually a bargain. I mean, he does have the boost to really hang with the best attackers on this game. He's a great cheap option. Now, is he as good as the most meta center backs on this game? I would have to say no. He's not the greatest center back, but he's a very solid center back, and he'll definitely do a job. He does have a good strong link to Aurier, so if you do want a cheap back line, Sanchez and Aurier wouldn't really do too bad for you. The next player I'm going to talk about is Alderweireld. He was 183K, and he was good and bad, all right? I expected his pace to be a bigger issue than it was, and he did get me caught out because I don't play dropbacks, so he did get me caught out on a few counters. However, he was very, very good positionally. His tackle was amazing. He was amazing in the air, which is something I didn't quite expect because he's not really that good in the air if you use his not-in form. And he's very good at passing the ball. So overall, he was a very, very solid card. However, if you're looking for a team of the season defender, and a cheap team of the season defender, I think I would rather use Stones or Laporte over him, just purely down to the pace. And of course, the last defender we're going to talk about is going to be De Ligt, team of the season. Was he worth the money? I would say yes. I mean, earlier in the year, I did do a review on him, I would say a few weeks back, and he was about twice the price. I thought he was a great value. Now he's an amazing value, especially with the St. Just objective. A lot of people getting that card. A lot of people getting Dumfries. A lot of people bringing in Tagliafico or other Dutch cards onto their team. I would say De Ligt, if you can fit him onto your team, is an amazing, amazing center back. He was definitely the best center back on this team, and he just does his job quietly. He's not the most impactful defender as far as something you'll notice off the bat, but he does do his job very, very quietly, but very, very efficiently. I really like the De Ligt card. Finally, we're going to talk about Onana. How is Onana in game? And yeah, I have grown, after using Onana 2 straight weekend leagues, I have grown to hate this card. He is very quick at coming off the line. He's a great passer of the ball, but other than that, he just sucks. I mean, everybody's spamming those first time long shots, and he just can't save a long shot to save his life because he's so short in game. And at range or inside the box, he's not quite the best either with his reflex saves, so he's not a great goalkeeper to use. I felt like using Onana actually cost me at least 1 to 2 games in the weekend league. That's how bad he was. There were certain games where every single good shot my opponent took, Onana would have no chance. And that's just not what I'm looking for out of a goalkeeper at team of the season time. So I can't wait to not use this Onana card. And yeah, our super subs were Blind, and I did get to use FFS Kluivert. Kluivert was decent as a super sub, but nothing too crazy. I wouldn't really recommend him for the price. Blind seems to be a decent player, but once again, just lacks the pace, the mobility to really be impactful as a super sub. I could see him being a good CDM if you play a low block, but I wouldn't really recommend him for the price either. Overall, I was happy with the team. It was a very well-balanced team. The only different thing I wish I had Hullet instead of Eriksson. I think if I had that and a better goalkeeper like Van der Sar rather than Onana, I could have done a lot better in Weekend League. But I'm not going to blame the team. I'm not going to blame the gameplay. I just wasn't playing at my highest level. I did rush a bunch of games at the end, and it is what it is. 14 and 10, we're going to take that 10 times out of 10. I mean, we're not trying to sweat anymore. I mean, the game is pretty much dead, so it is what it is. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, what team do you want me to use next weekend league? I'm thinking about an Arsenal team. I'm thinking about a Manchester United team, a French team, a Belgian team. Give me some ideas, guys, in the comment section. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.